Welcome to Degenerate Podcast. I'm your host, Ernest EJ Christian, coming to you on a somewhat cloudy but nice Wednesday afternoon here in South Florida. On the line with us, first time in a while, our old friend Zack, the gambling degenerate. Zachary, what's up?
Not much, man. Just playing out in the yard, digging up weeds.
Oh man, homeowner. I forgot homeownership is kind of fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so much fun.
Sarcasm, right?
Might be a touch in there.
Yeah. Well, congrats in order for you, because your Orlando Magic made the playoffs for the first time, I think, 7 years?
Woo-woo!
Hey, man.
First
look.
time I haven't bet on them in 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest here, too. I gotta give them props. I'm not a Magic fan, but, dude, they're actually one of the hotter teams in the NBA, not just like in the Eastern Conference or whatever. Like, they've won 21 of the last 30 games. I mean, they're playing some good ball all around. And it's a large sample size, too.
Yeah, 30 games, that is a large enough of a sample size.
I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. Now, what you guys do with that in the first round of playoffs against whoever you play in the first round is I mean, it looks like it's going to be most likely Toronto, right? I mean, just the way it looks based on the seedings.
I think we could still win a game and Brooklyn lose, and we could slide into the 6th seed.
Right, and that you'll draw at that point Philadelphia.
The Sixers.
Which, by the way, Philadelphia, to me, I think they have the best starting five, or the most talented starting five in the Eastern Conference. But if Orlando pushed that series to 6 or 7 games, I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't shock me. I don't know why.
Is it a 7-game series in the first round, or is it just 5?
It's 7. It's 7.
Okay. Damn.
I missed the 5 games, to be honest with you.
Yeah, hey, we might win a playoff game if we get to play the 76ers.
Yeah. I mean, Philly they're not world beaters, man. Let's just be real.
No.
They're not world beaters.
I totally agree with that.
Okay. So today's podcast, we're going to dive into our over-unders. Every year, Zach and I do, NFL over-unders for your starts. And, of course, we did our NBA over-unders back in October, win totals. And we're going to review now where we stand in comparison to what we predicted for the year started. But before we start the show, I have to get your thoughts on a couple things here. Number one, out of nowhere last night, there was no leaks, there was nothing. Magic Johnson, this random press conference, just decides to quit as president of operations for the Lakers. I mean, I was stunned. Not just at the news, but the way it was done. He didn't even tell Jeannie Buss. He just went ahead and just quit. I'm a big Magic Johnson fan. He's my all-time favorite athlete. But I gotta tell you, man, I'm not saying it's shady, but it kind of fits the narrative now. What he's done, he tried to be a head coach in 1994. That didn't work. He just quit. He played one more year in '96. He quit. He did a talk show back in '95. Then he quit. I mean, so it kind of fits the narrative. What are your thoughts on this, man?
I think it stems from when Jeannie Buss came out last week talking about she has to be more cautious about who she speaks to, make sure she speaks with them face to face. And I think that's the whole reason. I think Magic Johnson took that job believing that it was his final say on all team matters. And it really wasn't going to be the case. The owner is going to want to have a say when they are still signing the check.
Of course. And I feel like a lot of this might have to do with Luke Walton. Because a lot of the rumors are that Magic wanted Luke fired. Maybe there's some pushback with Jeannie, maybe even with Rob Pelinka to some extent. I've heard, if you listen to some of the things that Magic said yesterday. By the way, Magic Johnson's press conference yesterday went 30 minutes long, and if you watch the entire thing, there's a lot of things you can take away from that press conference to unpack. There may be some issues between him and Rob Pelinka as well too, because he wasn't because I guess somebody asked him yesterday that would Rob Pelinka be a good president of operations, and he was not definitive about that. So it led to speculation that maybe there's some iciness between him and Pelinka. But yeah, certainly I believe this has a lot to do with the Luke Walton thing. I've been pro Luke Walton all year long. I believe the blame should be. I mean, he should get very little blame for where the seasons went for the Lakers. I put blame on Magic number one and LeBron.
Oh, amen. And that's where I think the disconnect started with Magic. Was he wanted to be in the LeBron camp, but he wanted to have control over the narrative. Thinking he's the president of basketball operations for the Lakers. It's the Laker narrative, and he will control what gets out. Whereas LeBron is, I came here expecting to have a say, and my people speak for me, and I can just deny.
Right. And I gotta tell you now, I think Luke Walton survives.
So do I, because his track record shows if you can win 35 games with a bunch of second and third year players and a rookie starting at point guard, then you had the supposed best player. Let's say that supposed.
He still is. I push back on that, but a little bit.
You should win 45 to 50 games.
Right.
And he is not the best player in the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's not, then who is? I think that's my only pushback. If he's not the best player in the league anymore individually, who is? I'm not saying you're wrong, because I've questioned that over the course of the last 2 months myself. But if he's not, who is?
I would say Steph Curry, Kevin Durant are both better. And maybe Kawhi. I would say those three are better players.
Especially to say Durant. Especially to say Giannis or Durant.
I said Durant. Durant was number 2 behind Curry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear Durant. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
I don't think Giannis has enough of a game.
Yet, anyway.
Yes, well, he's been in the league a few years and it's not catching up. I think he's going to be a set type of player for his entire career.
You mean the MVP? You mean the MVP of the league right now?
Well, that's debatable too. I wouldn't give him the MVP. I think the jump this team made was primarily due to the others on the team and the new coaching staff, not him.
I agree 100% with that too. I mean, Budenholzer definitely had a lot to say about that. But I would say Giannis has to maintain. But I mean, back to that Magic thing real quick and LeBron. I think Luke survives. I don't know where LeBron stands in the whole Luke thing. I mean some of the tea leaves were suggesting that LeBron was not really in Luke's corner. But again, I don't know where the Lakers are going to go in terms of who we're going to hire as president of operations. I mean, there's rumors about David Griffin could be interested in that job. I've heard even somebody made a suggestion that it's possible the Lakers may actually reach out to Pat Riley just to see how he feels about the situation. I don't know. A lot of things there to unpack, and it's going to be interesting from this point on, going into the offseason, especially about how that story goes. Because look, the Lakers, even when they're bad, they're like the Cowboys. Even when they're bad, it's still interesting, and this adds more to the story.
Yeah. I think the number one reason why they are still the talk is it's an easy go-to to talk about LeBron, and every news person wants to kiss up to LeBron, so they always have to talk about LeBron.
Yeah.
Because he's going to put stuff out there all the time to get attention.
But that's fading now, too. That's also fading as well, too. I think this year you start to see that. Like, I told you during the year, like, I wasn't interested in the Lakers and LeBron. I ended the year feeling the same way. I mean, honestly. That's how I feel.
As far as the former GM of the Cavs, Gilbert?
Griffin.
Griffin, yeah. Besides getting LeBron to come back to the Cavs, what did he do?
Well, I remember...
Right? He gave up signed a ton of terrible contracts just to appease LeBron. Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
I mean...
It worked in the short term.
You had LeBron to get you to the finals.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that is his go-to. So he's accomplished as much as
hard to
Magic
assess because LeBron takes the oxygen out of the room. I agree with you 100%. Hard to assess because he did all this and they benefited, but who gets the credit there? LeBron, Dave Griffin. I'm with you, man. I totally see the argument there. So, but like I said, it will be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Okay, a couple of things we want to get to before we get to these over-unders that we're reviewing now. Dwyane Wade, obviously we knew this before the year started. He was going to retire at the end of the year. He's now out of the playoffs officially, out of the eliminated from contention. Last night was Dwyane Wade's last home game. I'm not sure he'll be playing tonight in Brooklyn. If I'm the Heat, maybe don't play him. Also, but not I guess not. It shouldn't be shocking, but if you saw the tea leaves throughout the year, you would assume that he was leaving the end of the year. But Dirk Nowitzki actually officially last night made it clear that he's retiring at the end of the year. Let's go Dwyane first, Zach. 3 titles, 1 scoring title, a Finals MVP. To me, I'll be honest with you. He's the most important sports figure in this town. We both live in South Florida. There's always a debate about who's more important to the city of Miami, Dan Marino or Dwyane Wade. I think Dwyane passed him a long time ago, honestly.
Oh yeah, it is far and away now. It's Wade County. South Florida should thank him every time as far as it goes as a sports figure.
Mm-hmm.
I would say he's probably going to go down as one of the most underrated Hall of Famers. Because of who he played with in his generation and the fact he did team up with LeBron.
Right. It does. I will say that it does save him though that he won a title without LeBron though. It does save him.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's why I say he's so underrated. He will go down as one of the most underrated Hall of Famers. Because I think if you were to technically try and build a team so that you have each position covered, he might be your shooting guard or small forward, depending on how you wanted to arrange your lineup for size.
Right.
Maybe the third best of all time. He'd be on the third team.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, you debate 2 guards all time. Michael Jordan, number 1. No one's going to debate that. Most will say Kobe Bryant, number 2. The debate for 3 really is between Jerry West and Dwyane Wade. I go Wade third, but if you say Jerry West, I'm not mad at you for that. Jerry West is the logo. Went to 9 finals, won 1 title. All that. I ain't mad at you for that. I put Wade there, obviously, because I'm a little more favorable towards Wade. I feel like in some ways, though, because of his playing style and because he didn't take that knee after college, I feel a little cheated. And I see more of Wade. Because Wade, I'll say this much, and I'm not saying he's better than Kobe. I'm not going to say that. But I will say that there was a debate to be made, and a case to be made for a matter, that Dwyane Wade's absolute peak, like 2006 through 2010-11, was as good, if not better, than Kobe Bryant's peak. And the numbers bear out. The numbers bear out too.
No. I mean, it's tough. I would lean towards Kobe.
Me too. I still say Kobe because the rings and all that, and longevity and being healthy. But the peak years. I mean, I tell you, if you look at Kobe's best years, 2005 through 9, 10 versus Dwyane Wade's excuse me, 2005, 6 through 2011. Compared to 2, those are the peak years. There's a case we made there, buddy. There's a case we made. The numbers are very comparable, and Dwyane Wade actually beats Kobe a lot of those efficiency numbers too.
Yeah, I think you could just watch the games and know that Kobe was the better player.
I will still go Kobe, even with knowing the stuff I know, obviously. But the fact that people made it closer than it really is, it's actually kind of interesting though. But last night, Dirk Nowitzki also too retires officially. It's funny, like he was getting send-offs every week, every game he played on the road, and yet I had to keep reminding people, Dirk hasn't officially retired. Said he's retiring yet. He's just going through the motions. And then last night he made it official. I mean, this is another underrated career. We're looking back at all-time great power forwards and whatnot. Dirk's in the conversation, man.
No doubt. He could maybe see a third team. I don't know if I would give it to him, but he is definitely an all-time great. I wonder, here's a question I'd put out to you. which way of a retirement would you have preferred? You know, not announcing it at the start of the season, or announcing it. Do you want to have the show all year as a spectacle for retirement, or do you just want to go out and just retire without the hoopla?
Because of my ego, I want the Dwyane Wade version of it. I want the Kobe version of it. I want the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar version of it. So because of my ego, yeah, I want the pomp and circumstance. That's just me, though. That's an individual choice. Again, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Somehow I think you're going to lean Dirk.
I like that quiet fade-out approach.
I mean, it's all about, Dirk never announced it. Dwyane did. I mean, and even to some extent, Dwyane Wade wasn't, his retirement wasn't as bloviated as Kobe's was. At least the Heat would play meaningful games late in the year. The Lakers won. Yeah. The Lakers won 16 games that year that Kobe retired. So, I don't know. Who went out better, really? I think totality-wise, Dwyane Wade went a lot better, in my opinion, than I say Kobe, because Kobe, even though Kobe had a 60-point game, against Utah in that final game, the entire year he was terrible.
Yes, but the Lakers had a shitty lineup.
Oh, no, I agree.
All around terrible.
I agree.
Dwyane Wade does have some talent around.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Kobe. That way, people who listen to this podcast, I'm not trying to knock Kobe. I love Kobe Bryant. I'm just saying, I'm just giving recent comparisons, because Kobe Bryant was the last big player to retire in this way. So anyway, so again, salute to both Dwyane Wade and Dirk Nowitzki, and obviously we'll be seeing them in the Hall of Fame in a couple of years too. First ballot, of course. So,
of course.
All right, let's get to the predictions. So back in October, before the year started, we've done this every year for the last 7 years. We always do our over/unders, NFL, NBA, whatever. And what I want to do this time, I want to come back and review where we're at versus what based on the Vegas numbers, where we predicted, and where we're at. So, as always, we go A through Z. So let's talk about Atlanta first. So, the Atlanta Hawks over number before the year started was 23.5 wins. Okay? I went over. You went under. I was correct.
Yes. The Eastern Conference threw me for a loop this year.
Yes, it did. Trae Young was fun to watch, though, man.
Oh, the second half of the season, he was a phenomenal talent.
Yeah. I was saying, too, throughout the year that, the Hawks would become my low-key favorite league pass team to watch.
They could make a giant leap in the next couple of years if Trae Young can improve his percentage for shooting.
Right.
When you're 30 and 40, it's kind of tough for 3-point and field goals.
Right. But so they they actually did pretty well considering. A lot of people thought they'd be the worst team in the league this year. They actually won 29 games, and if they win tonight, they'll hit 30. Okay, so we disagreed there, and I won that one. That's not a competition anyway, but who cares? All right, Boston.
You're going to clean up in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, probably am going to. All right, the Boston Celtics over-run number at the time was 57.5. We both went over, and we're going to go under on that one. They didn't even crack 50. They finished the year 49-33. Again, a team that a lot of Chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yeah, it was one of those cases where the team was brought down more by turmoil from the star than it was any kind of injury.
Mm-hmm. I will say this, though, Zach. I do think that still, if in a vacuum, you ask me who you think will win the East in this playoffs, I still like Boston. I think because now everything changes now. 7-game series. They have still probably the most talented roster in the conference.
Well, I would think they might be able to make it to the finals if they put Kyrie on the bench.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the team just does not play well together with Kyrie on the floor, especially not the starting five, as it is now.
I know there's a thought of him not being there next year, but do you think Danny Ainge even wants him there next year? I mean, that's a good question. It's a very good question. So, Here's one that you and I got very right, and we were calling it before everybody jumped on the bandwagon. The Brooklyn Nets over-under number was 32.5. We both loved the over on this one. I told folks, you told folks that this team has shown a lot of progress, maybe even flirt with the 8 seed. They went beyond that. They cracked 41 wins this year. They can get 42 tonight with a win over the Heat. The Nets were probably the most big. I shouldn't say surprise, but the surprise really comes in the fact that not only did they crack the number, but they far exceeded the number and made the playoffs, and probably maybe a 6 seed too on top of that.
Oh yeah, as far as improvement goes, I would say there's maybe one or two teams that were bigger shockers overall.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so happy to see that D'Angelo Russell became an all-star this year.
Yeah. I watched that Milwaukee game from Saturday. Now, granted, they didn't have Giannis in the game, but it was still a good game to watch. D'Angelo was going absolute bonkers on the Bucks in Milwaukee. What a great performance, you know? So,
Oh, yeah.
The Nets, again, congrats to the Net fans. There's actually two that come on this podcast all the time, Matt McQueenie, G.W. Gross, who diehard Net fans. So, congrats to the playoff spot. First one in, I think, 5 years, maybe. So, there we go. All right, the Charlotte Hornets, their number was 35.5. We both went under that one. They actually went over on that one, at 39 wins with the game tonight against Orlando. They are still alive for a playoff spot if the Pistons lose tonight and the Hornets do win. They'll get in the playoffs at 40 wins. So we were wrong there.
Yeah, no, I blame that on your Heat. Had the Heat actually won a few more games, I don't think Charlotte would have covered.
I agree.
So I blame it on your. I blame it on your Heat.
I will. Well, sure. I will say this much though. Charlotte kind of did the same thing Orlando did late in the year, but on shorter notice, they got hot late in the year, but too little, too late, kind of thing. So we'll see. Maybe still get in. We'll see what happens tonight. All right. The Chicago Bulls. The number at the time was 27.5 wins. I went under. You went over. The Bulls.
Yes.
The Bulls
This is my biggest letdown.
Right, the Bulls I'm sorry. My phone is reset. All right, the Bulls are at 22 wins. So, I got that one. They may even get the 60th loss if they lose tonight. Again, young team, trying to figure it out. Nothing really more to elaborate on that one, right?
Yeah, I wish they would have made a coaching change before the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Just totally let down by it. I really was hoping for something good to come out of that team.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a Bulls fan, so I think the opposite. My Bulls hatred goes long since Michael Jordan, so this is that. Okay, the Cleveland Cavaliers number was 30.5. I went under, you went over. I can't even went over in that one.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cavs they ended the year in 19-63, 19 wins. They didn't crack 20. Zach, you really did bad in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, I did horrible in the Eastern Conference. They're filled with nothing but shit teams, but then even the shit teams managed to win games. I did not understand that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Magic, I blame the Magic here on this one.
All right, let's move. They Kevin Love missed a large part of the year, but I don't think Kevin Love gets you 10 more wins though. Seriously, let's be real. All right.
No.
All right, next one here. The Dallas Mavericks, as you just said, Dirk Nowitzki retiring. Their number coming into the year was 34.5. I went over. You went under. I'm going to win no matter. Wait, I went over, right? So I'm going to lose no matter what because even if they win tonight, it's still a half point under. 33 wins right now. They could get 34 wins tonight with a win. It doesn't even matter because I still got the under. You got the over there. So yeah. Wait, who wins?
I've got this one.
Yeah, you got this one. Yeah, you got this one. So you got this one here.
Yeah.
Again, the big highlight for them was Doncic having a solid rookie year, probably rookie of the year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't know where you saw that kid coming from to think of the over, but you almost got it.
Yeah, and Porzingis will be there next year. I mean, assuming he gets through his legal issues this coming summer, we'll see. But yeah, that'll also be a fun team to watch next year if they're healthy. So. All right, the Denver Nuggets. Wow, we both fucked up on this one. The Nuggets were number was 47.5. We both went under on this one. They crushed. Oh, I'm saying crushed it. They got pretty. They cracked 50. They got 53 wins this year. Would they win tonight? They get 54. Still banned for that 2 seed too as well with Houston. I can't believe we dropped the ball here a little bit. I guess we thought people overstated the Nuggets a little too much. I knew they'd be good, but not that good.
Yeah, I underestimated Jokic.
Yeah.
He has to go down as a top 5 MVP candidate this year.
Has to be. Yeah, it has to be. At one point, he was definitely in top 2 or 3 at one point early in the year. So, all right. Detroit Pistons, over-under 37.5. We both got this one. We both went over on this one, and they are currently at 40 wins, and they're going to, obviously, if they win tonight, they make the playoffs, so we were right there. The Pistons are, kind of back, I guess. Dwayne Casey's first year there. Golden State Warriors, 62.5. I went under. You went over. I got this one. They could win the 58th game tonight when they win. Again, the Warriors thing is simple for me. It was more so the fact that, deterioration, being engaged in games and maybe some injuries here or there. That was my logic for taking the under on this one.
Yeah, I was expecting more competition for the 1 seed, so I was expecting a higher win total.
Right. I mean, they did get the competition, but it was a lot more on the low end of the number. So
yeah.
All right. What else here? We have the Houston Rockets. We had the over-under. The number set was 54.5. I went over. You went under.
Oh, my cancer.
You went under. You're fine. You're gonna get it because
yes,
it's over. They got it. It's set. They got 53 wins. So
yeah. I gotta say thank you to Carmelo for showing up for the first 7-8 games of the season. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'd have this win total correct without him. So again, shout out to Carmelo. Thank you.
Are you surprised that Carmelo hasn't found a team yet this year after getting cut by the Rockets?
Not at all. How many times did we hear about? Oh, he's part of the LeBron crew, and nobody from that crew wanted to ever play with him. For him, it was all about money and never about winning. And I think those guys knew that from their AAU days.
Interesting take there. Interesting take. Okay, moving forward. The Indiana Pacers, their over-under number at the start of the year was 47.5. We both took the under. Right now, if they win tonight, they get Yep, if they win tonight, we lose if they win tonight. So, right now we're holding steady. If the Pacers lose tonight, we get the number.
We'll take it.
Yes, we'll take it definitely.
And shout out to their coach because you lose your all-star in Oladipo, who I thought was the reason for the fluke year last year, and yet they still managed to win 47 games. So
how about Bogdanovich, man? What a great year, huh?
Oh yeah,
awesome year for that guy, man. I'm happy for him. I mean, I don't think they get past the first round. I think they're gonna draw obviously Boston in round 1. But what a year! I mean, you're talking about coach of the year candidates, man. You sure that Nate McMillan's not coach of the year? Because remember, that's Oladipo pretty early in the year too. It wasn't like they lost him like in February, March. They lost him I think December, and they could have. I thought they'd fall out of the playoff race, but no,
absolutely,
yeah, they were holding steady for the 3 seed for a little while too until early March. So, all right, what's the next one here? The Clippers. Woo! Clippers 35.5. Was the number they entered the year. I took the under in that one. You took the over. You obviously crushed this one. Their number is going to be obviously 48 if they win tonight, but 47 plus wins. Again, coach of the year candidate, Doc Rivers.
Oh yeah, and imagine if you wouldn't have traded Tobias Harris, I think they might have won 50 games this year.
Mm-hmm. They were trying to tank. It didn't work. Didn't work.
Well, they got a talented team, talented roster with a lot of money to spend this coming summer.
That's right. All right. Staying in the LA in Los Angeles. this is where I fucked up here big time. The Lakers number was 48.5. I went over. You went under. Obviously, they got way under 37 wins. Season's over. The season's over, so 37 wins is their total. I mean, we discussed it early on the show about Magic Johnson, and him abruptly leaving the team, and LeBron and whatnot. I mean, this is a shit show, and I gotta tell you, if the Lakers don't get this shit right within a year, you talk about 6 years in a row not making the playoffs. I mean, this could extend to 7, 8, or 9 years, going forward, because this year was far worse than we all can imagine.
I've got two thoughts here. One, I called it. I said there was going to be a shit show because of LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I said there'd be turmoil with Rajon Rondo. If he wasn't getting his way, he'd be on the bench pouting. It was easy to see. I can't believe I thought LeBron would be able to still carry this team with all the trouble he causes to a playoff spot, but I was wrong on that part.
Right.
The fact that all their key veteran players are on 1-year contracts so they can wave bye-bye to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that still kind of helps the team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the best they can probably do is make a hard push for the kid in Charlotte, Kemba Walker.
Yeah. At this point, I think it looks like any star to come there. Any star.
Oh, yeah.
If he believes he leaves here and believe that the other stars, the Butlers and the Klay Thompsons and even the Davis to some degree don't want to go to LA. I mean that's a bad sign for the Lakers moving forward. All right, next team here we had Memphis Grizzlies. Their number at the start of the year was 34.5. I went over. You went under. You're gonna get this one. They can win the 33rd game tonight with a win. Memphis, I think, could have gotten another couple more wins if they kept Marc Gasol, but obviously they were trying to fall apart. They were trying to tank.
Hey, how'd their point guard do?
Conley? I don't see his numbers. I can bring it up real quick and tell you. Give me one
I
second.
can tell he wasn't good. That's the reason why I'm asking you. He wasn't good.
Actually, he was pretty good this year. He averaged 21 points a game. 20 points a game.
What was his assist total?
6.5 assists. I mean,
yeah. And what's his turnovers? Over 3?
Check real quick. Turnovers. I don't see the number there. It's hiding from me.
Yeah.
I don't see numbers. Yeah, he had a solid individual year. I mean, what are you gonna do? He's the only option they have. What are you gonna do? I mean, is what it is. Anyway, okay. Miami's number was 41.5. Start of the year. We both went over. We're not gonna get that because the most they can win is 40. With the win tonight in Brooklyn, if they do win that, but they're also out of the playoffs, so it is what it is. Dwyane Wade, of course, retiring. The Heat, they got a lot of work to do. Next year's gonna be a lost year too because they got a lot of contracts expiring, and they can't even get involved in the sweepstakes for any big free agents because they are capped out for another year.
Well, that might be good. Clear the books, and then you can finally start over
in 2020. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later on another podcast. All right, the Milwaukee Bucks. This one I crushed, and this is one I got really right. I felt good about, but they even as good as I felt about the Bucks this year, they even exceeded my expectations because I thought they'd be a 3 seed this year. Their number was 46.5. 46.5. I went over. You went under. Obviously, they cracked 60. They're the only team this year cracked 60 in the NBA, and they can win 61 and win tonight. The Bucks as a playoff team, Zach. You think they can win the East?
Yes, because I made the mistake of judging them on, say, Jason Kidd's offensive game plan versus Butler's game plan. That coach is coach of the year. There's no up for a debate as to who else could be coach of the year. To change the philosophy of that team the way they did. And
with the same roster,
entire
too.
Offense.
With the same roster,
oh, yeah.
also.
Well, they brought in Lopez, who is becoming one of the better shooting bigs in the league. They got their number 2 player. God, why can't I think of it?
Bledsoe?
There. Yeah. He had an outstanding season. You know, when you allow other players to do what they're capable of, this is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the Bucks can technically go all the way to the finals.
Yeah. I think so too. I think there was some pushback though in the East. Maybe I tell you what, the East Conference is going to be fun this year, especially in rounds 2 and 3. When we get out to the final 4.
I'm not even 100% sure Boston gets out of the first round.
You think Indiana beats them? Really? Come on now.
Honestly, I think there's a chance.
Oof.
Like I said, as long as Kyrie's starting and that starting 5, I think there's turmoil.
Something we'll watch in the weeks to come then. Okay. Next one here. This is one we really whiffed on. Minnesota Timberwolves. The number for the year started was 44.5. We both went under. like idiots. But then again, at the time, we weren't sure about Jimmy Butler, if he'd be stayed, would he go. I
thought we both went under.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, under. I apologize. Yeah, under. Sorry. We got that one.
We crushed it.
Yeah, we crushed it. We did crush it. All right. We actually did say too at the time also that number was way too high.
Yeah. Only reason why I knew we had crushed this was it was like one of the only teams from the Western Conference you had got right.
Right. I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at the next one, New Orleans. That one is the one we got fucked up on.
Oh my god.
That's what we fucked up on. Their number was 45.5. We went over on that one, thinking this is the year Davis becomes the best player in the league, and remember last year with the playoffs, and we won the first round matchup against Portland, and we figured, okay, him and Drew Holiday, they'd be in the 1-2 tandem, and they make some noise in the West, and whew, what a difference a year makes. We went over, we whiffed on that one. That was 33 wins for the Pelicans this year, and that team I expect to be contracted at some point in the next 3 years. I mean, I'll say it again. They'll lose Davis. They'll lose all the players there, and they'll be in Seattle.
And that's the thing. They probably will be in Seattle, and maybe Seattle should throw a parade for LeBron because he's the reason why their team fell apart, and they'll have to give up on Anthony Davis.
That's a good point. That's actually a great point, Zachary. All right, the New York Knicks. We crushed this one, you and I. Their number at the time was 29.5. We both went under. We both got that. They are the worst team in the league at 17 wins. Yeah. I think there's one more game tonight. Yeah, they can get 18 wins this year if they win tonight against Brooklyn. Not Brooklyn. Detroit. Sorry, that won't happen.
Yeah,
whatever.
This is crazy because, I mean, I like their foundation with Porzingis, and they got rid of him, so now you're playing chances with the draft and free agency.
Well, but I gotta be honest with you though, Zach. Even though with the 17 wins this year, they feel stable. Like they have a direction. Their cap number's good. They can sign 2 maxes. Plus, they might get Zion, assuming he declares.
Well, isn't that poetic justice or karma maybe for that drafting of Patrick Ewing in the frozen envelope? Because they changed the rules this year for the draft so that the top 3 teams all have an equal, or the 3 worst teams all have an equal chance at the number 1 pick.
Yep. And maybe that's why
that kind of screwed the Knicks.
Maybe that's why this year was so competitive too. On the bottom also, because even the Cavs had moments where they were competitive. The Bulls had moments of competitive. Even the Knicks early in the year was competitive somewhat for a little while, and the Suns too. So yeah, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. But assuming they get Zion, assuming they get the first pick and they get Zion, and then the 2 maxes, you keep hearing these rumors about Durant going there and him and Kyrie going there possibly. So I don't know, something to watch this couple months though, definitely. Okay, OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder. Their number is 50.5. We both went over on this one. I thought they'd get the over. We thought they'd get over even a month ago, and then they fell apart after the All-Star break.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're going to get at most 49 wins if they win tonight.
And I think they haven't. I think I saw something where they hadn't won back-to-back games in a couple months.
Yeah, they really screwed up. They really fell apart last couple of weeks. I mean, they're lucky they played. They're lucky the West is only 8 teams doing anything this year. So, but yeah, their early start of the year. It's funny because they started the year horribly, 0-5, and then they surged. And Paul George was the MVP candidate for a good while, and then Russell Westbrook starts to figure it out. And it's funny when Westbrook was playing horribly this year, they were playing the best basketball, and then when he figures it out a little bit, they fall apart. Makes you wonder, huh?
Well, and I think, well, he was taking less shots when he was struggling, but then as he started to heat up, he started taking more shots, and that was at the detriment of the other teams.
Yep.
Or the other players, I mean.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Orlando Magic. Over under 31.5. We both took the under in this one. We both blew this one.
Yeah, I believe this was my best bet of the year.
Do you want to go ahead and apologize to your Magic faithful?
Yes, to the other two Orlando Magic fans out there in this world, I'm really sorry I did not bet on our team this year.
Not only did they crush it and crack 40, they can get 42 wins with a win tonight. Just saying.
They also won the division. I could have bet on that and made some serious money.
Right. That's a good point. Okay, next one here. This one I know I got right because I predicted this one to happen. The 76ers over-under number was 54.5. I said that to come back to earth a little bit. Took the under. You took the over in this one, actually, bro. I'm surprised. And I was right. 50 wins. The max with 51 wins they win tonight. Again, Philadelphia's not they have in my opinion, the most talented starting five in the Eastern Conference, but they're not world beaters. And there's something about that mix of players I don't like. Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. There's something about that I can't put my finger on it, but it's something that I don't like about that.
I'm right there with you. One, I wouldn't want Jimmy Butler on my team. I think he's a cancer like Carmelo.
Yeah, I have to.
And two, they just do not have any shooting. I mean, you can only put out J.J. Redick as a shooter, and that's about it.
And Embiid is your center.
Embiid's 30%. That's not a shooter. You're doing okay. Let him shoot 30% from three.
That's what I'm saying, though. Okay. If he's your second best shooter in your starting lineup, and he's shooting that low in the percentage, and as your center on top of that, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They're gonna. I tell you what, whether or not they draw Brooklyn or Orlando in the first round, I think both those teams can stretch that series out longer than it should. I'm not even joking.
I totally agree with you there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The Phoenix Suns over on the number before the year started was 28.5. We actually both like this team. We took the over in this one.
Yeah, we got bamboozled.
Yeah, they were fun to watch in moments this year, though. I will say that. I love Devin Booker. Fun to watch, man. They're gonna get. Well, they won 19 games this year, so the season's over for them. But I still think their future's bright. They have a lot of talent there. I think if they play the cards right, if they get the right guys in the draft this year and whatnot, they can be in position to start in the same way the Kings were doing this year. You know,
they have a chance at getting the number one pick as well.
Yeah,
so.
You got Aiden, you got Booker, you got a lot of pieces there, man. So the Suns are not. The Suns are like they're right now. They're lowly worst team in the conference, but I don't think they won't be there for long. I'll tell you that right now. All right. The Portland Trailblazers over-run number before the year started was 41.5, which I thought was way too low. I think the number was low because I think it was an assumption that either Lillard or McCollum would get traded during the year. That's why I think the number was so low. We went over anyway, and we were both right. Again, quietly is kept. 52 wins this year. Could get 53 with a win tonight. I mean, they do this every year. Obviously, Portland does this every year. They win 45, 48, 50-plus games. You know, maybe win a playoff round, and that's it. But I have to give them credit, man. I mean, this is a very solid franchise, man.
Yeah. Oh, when you have two outstanding guards, you can do a lot, I think.
There's value in that. I think there's value in keeping those guys together still. You're not going to win a title, but would you rather be the Orlando Magic finally after 7 years making the playoffs, or would you rather be Portland that you at least make a playoffs every year and have a chance to do something? Right?
Absolutely, and your fans show up, so I would not risk tearing apart a team to go try and chase the second seed in the West just to still not win a championship.
Right, exactly. All right, the Kings. Over number.
What?
Yeah, you got this one right. The Kings number before the year started was 25.5. I had the under in this one. I did not see this happening yet. You had the over, I had the under. They crushed me. 39 wins, and if they win tonight, they'll crack 40. They were one of my top 3 teams to watch on League Pass this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Buddy Hield had a great year. De'Aaron Fox is a fucking savage, dude.
Oh yeah, he has that relentless speed that John Wall came into the league with. So it is always fun to watch him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the future's bright. They fade late in the year, obviously, but I think I mean, depending on what. Can you see any of these 8 teams right now in the Western Conference falling out and entering the Kings in there? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But the Kings are coming. They're very talented. I think it wouldn't shock me if they're in the playoffs next year. Let's put it that way. Would not shock me.
Oh, I agree. They have a great rotation in the front court.
Mm-hmm.
You find another shooting guard just to come off the bench. I think they could really compete for an 8 seed.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got 4 teams to go here. The San Antonio Spurs number before the year started, 43.5. I went over, you went under. You thought this is the end of the Spurs. They were solid again. Pop does it again, and they can win 48 games with a win tonight. And I'll tell you, if they stay in the 7th seed here and assume Denver is a 2 seed, that could be an interesting series. Denver and San Antonio, that can go 7 games.
I think. Yeah, I would see that as a matchup where San Antonio could actually get to the second round.
Yeah. If they draw Houston, it's a different story, but if they draw Denver, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a 4-game sweep if they get the matchup with Houston.
Yeah. Pop does it again, man. I mean, I know he does it, man. Best coach ever, in my opinion. All right. The Toronto Raptors, their number for the year started was 54.5. We both took the over. We knew Kawhi Leonard being there was a big deal. And it served us right. They got 58 wins this year as a 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. I mean, Siakam, most improved player in my opinion this season. Kawhi, when healthy, was absolutely great, MVP candidate. Do you like the chances of going to the finals?
Yeah, coming out of the East right now, the way I've seen the Eastern Conference this year, I think it's a Toronto-Milwaukee matchup. And I would say whoever makes the most threes out of those 2 teams is going to go to the finals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Two more teams to go. The Utah Jazz over-under for the year started was 48.5. I took the under. You took the over. You got it. You got it there at 50 wins. With a win tonight, they win 51 games. What's impressive about Utah, though, especially, is the fact that first 2 months of the year, they were not even in the playoffs. In the playoffs.
No, they were garbage.
Yeah.
Gobert was playing terrible. The rookie from last year, what's his name?
Mitchell?
Yeah, Mitchell.
Don Mitchell.
He couldn't make a shot. You watch the first 10 games, he couldn't hit a basketball in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. This team went from being under 500 up to like January to not only making the playoffs, they actually cracked 50 wins on top of that. That's impressive. That's really impressive. So, I mean, kudos to the Jazz. That Jazz Blazers first round series is gonna be very interesting too. Say that much.
Yes, it will.
I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun playoffs. Can't wait. All right, and finally, this is so laughable, Zach. The Boston Wizards over/under was 44.5. We both took the over in this one. Looking back now on that, it's so bad. But think about it though. You got Dwight Howard, who's still productive. You got John Wall and Bradley Beal. At the time we were both healthy. You can't win.
Yeah, you look at it, and when you look at it, they had 2 of the best guards in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They should not have been that bad, but they couldn't figure it out.
we were dead wrong this one. 44.5 wins. We were dead wrong this one. They ended the year winning 32 games. Obviously, John Wall out for the year, probably out for next year as well too. Dwight Howard and his issues. Yeah, it was a disaster for the Wizards this year. The fact they won this many games, actually, to be honest with you, considering everything that happened, it actually is pretty miraculous in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think it highlights how good Bradley Beal is, and it's also going to shine a light on the new guy with the worst contract in the NBA, John Wall.
who we won't see till 2020.
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst contract in the league right now, by far. You know? Wow. So, yeah. Again, revisiting the over-unders, that was fun, Zach. And the playoffs will be fun. I can't wait till the weekend. I already told folks, don't bother me. Turn off my phone unless you're going to text me about basketball. Because these first 2 days are going to be fun. It's kind of like the first 2 days of the playoffs, the NBA for me is like, it's kind of like March Madness for me, like the first 2 days of this tournament. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. Anyway, anything else to add before we go? Anything else?
No, I think I'm good. Go Magic.
Go Magic, yes. I root for you guys in the first round of the playoffs, as long as I'm not against Milwaukee. I'm rooting for the Bucks to win the whole thing now. Not that Heat are gone, I'm rooting for the Bucks. So, anyway.
Well, like I said, I think they have a really good shot.
Yeah. Zachary, thank you, as always.
No, thank you. Thank you.